so Apple are doing a new film,
Yeah.
lowest to highest.
Oh yes, they do have that's good. That was a really good segue.
Thank you.
Should put like a sound effect for good segues. We do have lowest to highest. This is Spike Lee's next film, along with Denzel Washington.
And ASAP Rocky.
Yeah, apparently this is Spike Lee and Denzel Washington's like sixth film together.
Because they did Malcolm X, which you did a review on.
Yeah, there's countless
There's
others.
too many of
It's like,
them.
oh shit,
Yeah.
I didn't really deep they're like a duo. Like I thought I knew Malcolm X, but I didn't know about others. Now that this film's coming out, there is some screenings of, I think, Rich Mix. Someone's doing like a list of like old Spike Lee films, and Denzel's pretty much in like 80% of them. But we do have highest to lowest is coming out. It's under A24 and Apple TV as well. This is meant to be a remake from a film that was made in the 80s or the 90s, which follows a executive that works in the music industry whose son gets kidnapped, and it's like a toss between the music exec and the kidnapper, which I believe in this case is ASAP Rocky. So it's ASAP Rocky versus Denzel Washington. This film is out this week, and despite having Spike Lee, which is probably one of the best directors, living directors, and Denzel Washington, which is the best, greatest living actor of all time, there has been no marketing whatsoever on this film. At first we thought it was just going to come out into theaters, but now it's going to be in theaters for a week or two, then going straight into Apple TV. A lot of people that are huge fans of both creatives are disappointed on Apple, particularly Apple, and particularly A24, because Apple has somewhat of a record of not being the best at marketing,
which we've covered before.
Yeah.
But again, it's still a new avenue or new channel for Apple as a whole to go through. So there's a lot of dangers and risks that they need to think about, especially when it comes to which audience they're targeting.
Yeah.
So that's a big issue in general. But with highest to lowest and A24, this is continuing a repetition of black films not getting the limelight that they need.
Yeah, and I think I kind of blame mostly A24, because so people have gone online talking about this. There's a post on Twitter where people have listed a bunch of films that hasn't been getting the limelight, and a lot of them that's actually listed on here is actually under A24. So these are a bunch of black films, black-led movies that have not been marketed, that have been under-marketed, and that obviously is highest to lowest. We also have Sing Sing, we have Nickel Boys. Sing Sing and Nickel Boys both got Oscar nominations, so I don't understand why there wasn't much of a push on that front. We have Becoming a Guinea Fowl, which is a really incredible film, which I feel like people unfortunately didn't know about because, once again, wasn't marketed correctly.
It wasn't marketed correctly, and also in terms of accessibility, it was really hard for a lot of people.
It was very limited in theatres.
I think productions like Them Ones, who've worked with Free Books campaign really did something amazing a couple weeks back, where they made it a free screening for anyone to go to, and it made it accessible because it is a BAFTA award-winning film as well.
Yeah, and it seemed like, because we was there for the screening for it, like the audience really enjoyed the film. Like they really appreciated that this story was made. It really touched on stuff that, especially in like the African background, that doesn't really get talked about. So it seems like it's A24, which you kind of feel that will understand world cinema to know how to promote a African film. Going on the top of the list, there's more films like The Fire Inside, Earth Mama, 1001, which is also another film that got a lot of praise for.
Earth Mama got a lot of praise. Didn't it win for BAFTAs last year as well?
Yeah, I believe it won a BAFTA. We got All Dirt's Taste of Salt, which I'm not familiar with. They got They Clone Tyrone. We got Till. We got Parson and The Five Bloods. The Five Bloods, which I think is a Spike Lee film that came out on Netflix.
Passing is based off of a real story as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this post has gone on online. Over 3,000 people have responded to it. Yeah, it's kind of gone viral. People are now talking about black-led movies that haven't been marketed, and I don't understand why. I guess I do understand why, in the sense of they don't see these films as marketable.
What, marketable to black audiences, or black audiences wouldn't want to see that?
Yeah,
However,
or they don't value black viewers as financial as they do white viewers. They see white viewers as, this is how we're going to make money. Black viewers ain't enough for us to make money.
Which I think is heartbreaking, especially because Highest to Lowest was a Japanese film classic called High to Low, but was also known as Heaven and Hell.
Yeah.
It's a translation.
When did it come out?
Came out in 1963.
1960. Okay, 60s. I was way off.
So
that's
like
80s. God
so
damn.
it's a 1960s based film, and like it's based off of a book, as I think it's a book. Based off of a novel called The King's Ransom.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's so many different ways to segment this in terms of audiences, but because it is ultimately a black film, they've kind of just decided not to, which is a huge shame.
Yeah.
We've got Spike Lee, we've got Denzel Washington. It's an adaptation of Japanese classic film from the 60s.
It is literally one of the easiest films to market. It has a huge
and it's
actor.
It's a book adaptation.
A huge director that won Oscars recently. And then we have A$AP Rocky and Ice Spice, which can appeal to a younger audience. Obviously, A$AP Rocky is a huge rapper in the fashion industry, in streetwear. Of course, it does help the fact that he is with Rihanna as well, that adds to stardom. She'll be there on the red carpet. There's so much angles. Then you have Ice Spice, obviously, musically, maybe not being praised as she once was, but very marketable for you to put in the limelight. She can appeal to Gen Z easily, but for some reason we're not putting the dimes into it. And then we look at another film, especially on the Apple's roster, F1, which got promoted to the skies as much as possible.
Isn't it also coming back on IMAX?
Yeah, they're doing a re-release as well. That reminded me, there's one clip I wanted to play for us. Because obviously this has gone all over the internet now, people talking about this film. Now the film is getting a lot of good reviews on it, so it's not as if it's a bad film. There was this woman that I found online, if I just find the clip real quickly, where she spoke about the marketing on this and saying perhaps they're doing a different angle, which is quite interesting, where they're gonna market the film after opposed to before.
Yeah, but then isn't the whole point is you get gross during the cinema run versus during streaming? You don't get that much money during streaming.
Yeah, look, that is true. I don't know how it works. Let me play the clip because I can't remember exactly what she said. One sec.
Well, odd to me that we have had very little to no promo for the Spike Lee, Denzel Washington, and A$AP Rocky film, Highest to Lowest, which comes out in like 3 or 4 days. Those 3 names alone, they are a cultural trifecta. And yet you've probably seen more promo for a random Netflix rom-com. Maybe it's an oversight, but it coming from A24 and Apple TV, I'm gonna bet that it's what I call an afterglow launch. Meaning you are holding your budget and pacing it for the moment that it's gonna pay off the most. Now, for prestige films, that payoff isn't always the opening weekend box office. It's much more about streaming lifetime value or the long tail of the movie being out. New subscribers go to the platform to watch the movie, or less people cancel their subscription or churn off of the platform because they like the movie. You've also got award season buzz and cultural relevance that can last up to years. Think Everything Everywhere All at Once. It had a slow start but then owned the cultural conversation for like a year. Or Frank Ocean's Blonde. It had a quiet release, but then it had this long-term streaming dominance because fans were obsessing over it and critics were praising it. The Afterglow launch actually works really well when it's done right. You seed credibility early with festivals or insiders. You let word of mouth build, and then you push your budget hard when you can prove that it delivers. When critics are raving, when customers are posting about it, when your usage data is climbing. Or you've got testimonials that you can push that make other people lean in. And this doesn't just work for film or the arts. If you're launching a product, a feature, an album.
Okay,
you get the drift. So
like...
she's basically saying, is this a new approach of doing what she calls the afterglow rollout, where you promote the product or the film or whatever after the launch opposed to before?
I don't know how I feel about that because it's the idea of relying on it to become a cult classic. What happens if it doesn't?
Yeah.
A cult classic especially on modern terms, there needs to be some sort of buzz beforehand a little bit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no one's gonna watch it.
Yeah, and it's like, are we just relying off the names of these big people that are involved in it? I mean, it doesn't matter how big you are. A button has to be pressed, unless you're freaking Beyonce and you like a album release like last minute. But like those things only work for a certain amount of people.
That happens over. Yeah, and I get that we've got these huge careers out of Denzel Washington and Spike Lee, but like, put some respect on their name. They've put so much work and hours and money into this. I think it's only right that they get the same amount of marketing as any other film.
Yeah.
You can't completely rely on the fact that people like it afterwards.
Yeah. Do you
because
think?
If no one's talking about it, no one's going to watch it.
Yeah, and at this very moment, it's really just us, specifically the black audience, that's actually promoting this film.
And I know it was, and she was saying, oh, like, but also after some time, it's going to get festival hype. Babe, it was at Cannes.
Yeah, it was at Cannes. That's the only time we actually heard about it.
That was the first time we actually heard that he was doing something. Yeah. So, like, I don't think that's right.
Yeah. Do you think this...
Because then it's an accessibility issue. Yes, it's going to be on streaming, but then, like, once it goes off streaming and it goes into festivals again, the average Tom, Bob, and Harry can't have access to that.
Yeah, it's lost. It's lost already. Do you think, obviously, before this film came out, Spike Lee actually dropped the trailer a day before A24, and we was all like, oh, he was excited. Do you think there was some form of him realizing that A24 were dropping the ball in terms of marketing, and he wanted to push the lever a little bit quicker?
I think he knows his notoriety in terms of black cinema, so it was him using his leverage for marketing because A24 weren't going to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Bruv, so when this film come out, actually, it's on the 22nd, right?
Yes, I believe so. So that's this week. This week, Friday. And it's competing with Eddington.
Ooh. And Eggington's again. I went to Picture House Cinema the other day, and Eggington's all over the gaff. It's literally all over the gaff. Yeah, it's quite sad to see a film in this caliber shouldn't go thrown on streaming platform. So I do urge people. We're talking about right now. This is gonna be all over social media. Go watch Highest to Lowest in the cinema. This is Spike Lee, Denzel Washington, A$AP Rocky, Ice Spice. This is music related. I heard there's a lot of jazz, a lot of hip hop in it as well.
The style, beautiful. The style. One of the biggest things that I saw, I don't know if it was Dazed or another publishing company, but they said also the style in this film is phenomenal. We're gonna add in an image of Denzel Washington in a suit.
Yeah.
Looking crisp, looking sharp. Don't know why this hasn't circulated as much as it should have.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, if you're already hearing that it's the style that everyone's been talking about, one of the big things that people love about film at the current moment is the fashion.
Yeah, and I think this is the one.
Yeah. So don't wait to go on streaming. Go to the fucking cinema. In the words of the Cinema Junkies Club.
Go to the fucking cinema. Yes, that's it really. Go to the cinema and watch this like now.